Hi everyone, this is Joe Brewer, and wanted to give you another update on the way that I'm thinking about designing a training program in bioregional regeneration, because a lot of learning is happening and there's so many interesting parts. So first of all, as you may know, I am the capacity cultivator for the Regenerative Communities Network, which is a global network of bioregional projects where people in each region are already coordinating their own activities to build regional scale economies based on environmental or ecological principles. And so one thing that I'm getting to learn from talking with people in these different regions is what's working and what's not working as they go about their work. And there's some really inspiring projects that we can talk more about. But also, I'm really thinking about how do we cultivate an ecosystem of learning within each bioregion and across from bioregion to bioregion. The thing I want to share today is how we're thinking about an in-person, immersive, project-based program. So we're currently designing a 30-day certificate program in bioregional regeneration to be launched here at Rancho Margot. That will teach people the basics of how to do design at a bioregional scale using regenerative principles. And because it's immersive and place-based, you come here and practice some permaculture and visit field sites in the region while you're learning the program. That there's also an online component, but it's done in the reverse of most webinars. Webinars are usually that the majority of the students are spread out around the world and the facilitator speaks to them online and they're all on their computers. What we're doing instead is creating an immersive in-person educational experience with different kinds of experts that we have relationships to that will dial in and speak to our students, all of whom are located here at the ranch. So we might have John Fullerton call in and talk to the students about regenerative finance, for example, or Daniel Vall call in and talk about how to design regenerative cultures. We have a lot of people with this depth of knowledge and expertise who would be very happy to share their knowledge in this way. And so we have this capacity to create an in-person educational experience with the benefit of online, but in the pedagogy of immersive project-based learning. Now, one of the challenges of this is that normally if you bring a lot of teachers together to teach students, then you have to pay the teachers and it costs a lot of money. That means that the price of the program is really high. Now, we don't want this to be an expensive program. We want it to be an inexpensive program. We want people to feel like they can afford to pay the tuition and come for a month and really dedicate themselves. And so in the beginning, we won't be able to pay. We'll have an honorary, like, thank you for calling in as an expert to teach with us. But if we replicate the curriculum across regenerative campuses, where an increasing number of bioregional learning centers in different bioregions offer the same 30-day course, and they each have their own cohort of students doing project-based immersive learning, then they can all dial in for the same webinar instruction with the same set of experts, and it grows in size with the number of bioregions that are involved. So thinking in this way, we can help create more cohesion and shared learning within bioregions and across bioregions by making the curriculum open source and freely available, structuring it so that it can be shared from one bioregion to another, and that the things that are in common are the elements about how do you design a bioregion, and that'll include topics like how do you set up a multi-stakeholder collaboration, how do you run effective scenarios and do scenario planning, how do you create a shared agenda about the future based on the scenarios that you see, and how do you evaluate your progress as you're moving toward it, while also implementing regenerative economic principles and putting in place the metrics and evaluation tools that ensure that you are indeed being regenerative. So there are these pieces of knowledge that would be useful in any bioregion. At the same time, there's a global context that we need a shared understanding about, that we have a planetary boundaries framework developed by the Stockholm Resilience Center that shows us what the thresholds are that humanity has already crossed in the global system that place our future in jeopardy. so that as we set these region to region metrics, we can move toward global goals that address them and regenerate toward pulling ourselves back within those boundaries and stabilizing the planet. And so there's a set of tools like planetary boundaries, or the donut economic framework that Kate Raworth developed, or the economy for the common good framework that Kristen Felber developed. There are a lot of other metrics like this that are tool sets that should be standardized so that in each bioregion people are aware of them and know how to use them. So what we're doing is designing a 30-day bioregional design program with a standardized curriculum that can be replicated in place to place, that we will share with the global network, and that we will invite experts to call in and speak with the students. So one of the benefits of being in the program is access to these experts. Another benefit will be the learning center itself, in our case for the first one, Rancho Margot in northern Costa Rica, but eventually a whole network of them, so that people can go and learn at the learning center for their own region, or they can travel to another region if there isn't one in their own region. And then over time, this becomes a way of accumulating knowledge and practices that can spread across the planet. So this is a key piece of how we're designing this curriculum, and something that I've been thinking a lot about in the last 2 weeks while doing my part to help develop it. And I just wanted to share it with all of you today. So if you have any questions or want to get involved, please contact me and let's talk more. And I will share more about this design and development process as we continue.